Oh,
True.
Wow.
You guys heard it right there.
No, it wasn't. They missed it. Let's start.
Okay, 6:23 is the time. In today's talker, a nudist tourism company is offering a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And yes, of course, clothing is mostly optional.
The big nude boat from cruise specialist company Bare Necessities has has an 11 yes, but a little different for this one. Has an 11-day adventure that will take its passengers to quote back to paradise.
Oh my God.
Yeah, y'all stick with me here. Destinations on the trip include the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. Guests will need to bring some clothes.
And some sunscreen.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's true.
That will have to be worn in the ship's dining rooms. Okay, because I was worried about that. Because I don't want to see that
Your
while
food,
I'm eating.
yeah.
That's all you guys are worried about?
Yeah, not all you're eating.
Okay, so here's how else it works. So they'll also have to sit on a towel in other areas, including the stateroom. The boat, named the Norwegian Pearl, can hold around 2,300 passengers. This tour is scheduled to leave Miami on February 3rd and return on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
February
Still got some time to book it if you really want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own. If it's something you want to do,
True.
Go ahead. And it's closed in one spot, right? So if you're worried about anything, it's just all the people right there, and yeah.
My concern was the eating part, so I'm glad we mentioned that.
We got that out of the way.
Cleared that up.
out of the way.
Because I don't know while I'm eating if I really want to
salad,
see
yeah.
everyone's bare bodies, but
Love how they're
Do your
the
thing.
puns on it. They're
Yeah.
putting the puns
Yeah.
on us. But no, but please let our viewers in. You were just right before we came on.
I don't know
air.
what you're talking about.
I mean,
there
this
was
might
a-
be something you'd be
I think it was-
interested
You
in.
might.
I'd probably do this, I think is what she said.
Okay.
Listen,
I don't know
I'm
what to talk
always
about.
impressed by people who can do this and who are so confident
Confident,
with
yeah.
themselves and their bodies,
Yes.
because with me, I'm not as confident, so I would just feel I don't think I would do it personally, but I'm always impressed by people who can just walk out freely and not really care about what other people think. And I'm sure in that environment and setting when everyone else is doing it, it's
Yeah.
just a little bit different. But like you said, to each their own, and
Yep.
I'm sure it'll be a lovely trip, whoever goes.
And
Maybe
honestly-
Simone. I don't know.
Did my first cruise.
You see me? Don't say anything.
Oh.
Just kidding.
And I will say, first cruise took this year. Man, I love cruises.
Yeah.
They're so much
Uh-huh,
fun.
they are.
So just gonna plug that real quick.
That'll be one
By
heck
the
of
way,
a,
Adriana, you look great.
Oh,
true.
thank you.
of course, one heck of a,
That's
good.
Apparently momentarily.
according to your forecast.
According
you
to
okay?
the satellite imagery, I was getting a little message in my
Oh,
ear
you
from
just
our
looked,
producer.
you were
I know.
stop staring at me.
Sorry, we switched the camera view, so we had the Lake Express very
Like, is there
earlier.
something
I
on
was
my
like, medically,
face?
are
My
you
teeth?
okay? We just wanted to make sure.
We're just getting a transmission, y'all.
burning
We're all
things.
good. Live look right now out over downtown Milwaukee. Still cloudy in the city out there this morning, but it is mild, so I've opted for the smaller coffee cup. You gonna be all right, Simone? We're all good. We're all good. Sometimes I do stare out into space. We're so good. Temperatures into the 60s here as we roll from mid-morning to late morning, closer to the lunch hour. Don't make me lose it over here. She's got the tissue. All right, 24-hour temperature change. Numbers a bit warmer at the lakefront. Definitely a little bit cooler as you head a little bit farther inland. I can see you in my peripheral vision here. Do not wave that tissue around. All right, we got showers heading out over into Michigan this morning after all of that rain. To Adriana, how are those roads looking so far?
The roads are good. Should I just stare at you now like you were staring at me earlier? The roads are good. We're not seeing any I was just stunned too. I was like, what is he looking at? Do I have something in my teeth, in my hair? What's going on? All right, the roadways look really good out there as you are traveling out and about. Here's a look at that 894 stretch on top, right near 51st Street. The westbound stretch, seeing that traffic start to build due to reduced lanes because of construction. I-43 on the bottom looks perfect. We're not seeing any delays across that 43 stretch. No crashes across the interstate system. Green conditions out there other than, once again, 894.
Adriana, how are the roads looking?
They're looking good. Here's a look at I-43 right at Keefe Avenue once again. The roadways look good. We're not seeing any delay. Brendan's just staring at me. I was wondering if I was pointing at your feet to see if you had the Star Wars socks on right
no,
now.
no, I don't.
Okay, all right. Now we're almost done with traffic. Traffic looks good. You will see an overnight closure. I-43 on the northbound stretch tonight, just the northbound side, Port Washington. Our whole show this morning is just going up and then downhill real quick. quickly. All right, I-43 northbound stretch, overnight closure right at Port Washington Road. You will see that tonight. The rest of the roadways look good other than right here, 894. We typically see delays along that 894 stretch, but this is starting to build as more people are heading out and about for their morning drive. This is because you're down to 2 lanes instead of 3 like here on the eastbound stretch. So keep this in mind. Heavy delays 894. The rest of the metro area, green. Not seeing any other problems. Maybe some slight slowdowns along I-94 right near American Family Field. That is typical for this time of day as well. Drive times for you. Marquette to Madison, if you do have a longer commute, 94 on the westbound stretch, 63 minutes. Marquette to the Mitchell, from the Mitchell interchange down to that state line, I-41, 94, 28. Marquette to Grafton, I-43. That's a 20-minute drive. Simona, Tom, over to you. Now on preseason basketball starts tonight for the WNBA. The Indiana Fever take on the Dallas Wings and the Chicago Sky taking on the Minnesota Lynx. There is so much energy around women's sports, but did you know Milwaukee was influential in laying the groundwork for women's professional basketball? I spoke to a former Milwaukee Does player, Diane Morales, a former professional player and now coach, Mary Nellen, and 2 students who are playing in college next year about the excitement around women's sports.
Her speed enables her to fill the wing on the Doe's fast break. Diane is strong with lots of endurance. Yeah, he always called me the spark plug.
A trip down memory lane.
I don't know when I read that before.
To a brief few years.
It's been many years.
In Diane Morales' basketball career.
That's me, 22.
Playing for the Milwaukee Does.
This is the year I played, so 1979.
After playing for UW Whitewater and while playing for Puerto Rico in the Pan Am Games, Diane was drafted to the Does.
It says I was a 3rd round draft choice.
In 1979.
And it was nerve-wracking. I played for Larry Costello. Milwaukee Does were now starting their 2nd and last season.
Although being on this team was short-lived, it was also historic. It was the first women's professional basketball team for Milwaukee, and the reason why Diane has kept so many mementos from over the years.
These I played when I played professional basketball.
The team was founded in 1978 as part of the Women's Professional Basketball League, or WBL.
Meyer presided at the ceremonial first tip-off.
The league's first game, Chicago Hustle versus Milwaukee, played at Milwaukee Arena.
Joni Smith, whose number is appropriately 1.
Joni Smith, the first player to score points for the league, after the game expressing how thrilling it was to play in front of a large crowd.
That was excellent. Boy, they were backing us all the way, and I really loved it.
But the crowds and supporters slowly died down, and Diane says playing for the team at times was chaotic and challenging.
It was very stressful. Sometimes you would get off the plane, you would fly to California and find out their team just went under.
Although there was hope the Does would succeed, the team eventually folded in 1980 and the WBL shortly after.
It was a crazy season. City of Milwaukee really didn't embrace us as a team.
But this team and the league laid the foundation for women's basketball today.
All right, let's go to College Street.
And inspired future players like Mary Nellen.
So Joni would come into our practices and we were just in awe, like, wow, she's a professional basketball player.
Mary helped start up Pius High School's first girls basketball team.
You see, we won conference and all those state championships.
And hoped to one day play in Milwaukee.
In my heart, I said, I'm going to be doing that.
But her career took her elsewhere.
I played 1 year of professional basketball. It was the next league that was developed, and it was also terrible. We played in giant arenas, and 20 people would show up. But if we didn't do that, the WNBA would not be here today.
Now running her own coaching business called One-on-One Milwaukee, Mary is helping teach the next generation.
You want to be that kid on the court. We're helping girls find the right level, the right place they can play, and ultimately earn that degree, which is your gold ball.
Now coaching players like Haley Bachman and Olivia Conway, both set to play in college next year.
I'm so excited to play in college. I'm going to Benedictine University.
I'm going to St. Norbert in De Pere. I'm so excited. It's been my dream since I was little to play in college.
With women's college basketball exploding in popularity, Mary says it's thrilling to see so much energy and excitement around women's sports.
It's an amazing feeling. I can't say enough to our littles that we coach, you know, that they need to watch, see what's happening in front of you.
She hopes for the ones who step on the court in the future, they'll take time to learn about the past and continue to push the ball forward in women's sports.
You have to keep passing on to the generations below them and hope that what we're teaching them is being passed down and we're doing things the right way. Nice, nice.
Yeah, and there was so much I couldn't fit into the story, like Mary and Diane both explaining how different it was playing girls basketball until Title IX changed all of that. Diane, she's still shooting, but this time behind a lens with her own photography business called Favor Photography. I also asked Diane if she thinks a professional women's basketball team would be successful in Milwaukee today, and she said absolutely. So welcome back. It is time for your Wisconsin weekend in a minute. And calling all comic book lovers, this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day, and there are a few stores participating in our area, including Vortex Comics in West Allis, Collector's Edge Comics in Milwaukee, and Cowabunga Comics in Oconomowoc. At Cowabunga, it's 1 book per person, but if you bring a food pantry donation, you'll get an additional book. Well, grab your mint juleps and a really big hat for the 150th anniversary of the Kentucky Derby. There are many parties to celebrate, including Talk Derby to Me at Ironhurst, Maxie's Kentucky Derby Party that benefits the Hunger Task Force, Kentucky Derby Day at St. Kate as well. May 4th is also a big day for Star Wars lovers because it's May 4th, like May the 4th be with you. So now that we're all on the same page, First Marcus Theaters is having a Star Wars marathon at Brookfield Majestic location. You can watch all those 9 movies, but we did just get an update that event is sold out. However, they have transformed the bar into a Star Wars themed bar if you still want to go. If you don't want to spend hours in a movie theater, then the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra is hosting a movie of I'm not even going to be anywhere close to this. Just give it to me. They're hosting an event there. The Milwaukee Festival Brass is also hosting a Star Wars themed concert. May the 4th be with you. And then finally, UMOS is celebrating Cinco de Mayo with a lot of cool events there. A vintage car show, which is going to be really nice. An Chihuahua beauty contest. And a hot... Yeah, and a hot tamale. Yeah, the Chihuahuas. And a hot tamale eating contest and along with a piñata party. So
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Is that outside at Umos in the parking lot?
Yes, yeah. So hopefully it doesn't rain on them.
Well, we'll get to the forecast.
Rain don't stop no party.
Exactly, that's true.
If you go to any of these events, send us your photos. You could see yourself in Monday morning's weekend rewatch.
So far, so good. That earlier crash that we saw along I-94, that has cleared, so we're not seeing a single incident or crash or delay across the interstate system. What you will see overnight tonight is an overnight closure, I-43 on the northbound stretch, Port Washington Road to Highland Road. Keep in mind, construction always weather dependent, so this could change, but as of right now, the DOT says that's still good to go. What you will see also on Saturday is the Wisconsin Marathon happening in Kenosha County, so you will see some road closures in Kenosha, near the lakefront, Pleasant Prairie as well, and Carroll Beach. So essentially from 31st Street all the way to about 78th Street in Kenosha. Keep this in mind, near the lakefront, there will be some road closures there, starting at 7 a.m. and lasting until about 1:30 p.m. So use extra caution if you are traveling near the lakefront in Kenosha, as there will be a lot of people participating in this marathon. Drive times for you: Marquette to the Zoo interchange is 6 minutes, State Fair Park to downtown also 6, and from Marquette to Mitchell, that's a 5-minute drive. Simone and Tom.